Rumph. 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 So, this is the beginning. You shouldn't. I think I might have, what do you call it, malathion lung, or melasthesiobia, where they get on TV all the time and they, you're trying to watch an old Quincy from the old days, old Quincy. Quincy's about to discover that this son of a bitch, this woman, this prick, you wouldn't want to say that about a woman, but in Quincy was like a liberal-esque kind of a thing, a show. They were way ahead of their time. So it's like this, he didn't say this bitch. He said, this son of a bitch. He said, son of a bitch, or a bastard. He called the woman a bastard. She was so blonde and beautiful. They cast the right woman. You're like, don't call this woman nothing. If this woman wants to piss on your mouth, you just slay back and take it. If you say to yourself, this woman could piss on my knees or my ankles twice a week, I will accept that to be with this woman. She was a blonde-haired, beautiful, whatever. Nobody understood. Nobody cared. But the man, he was watching an old Quincy. And the point of that, the point that he was trying to watch with the old Quincy, sometimes you have to research and try to figure out what it was that they were trying to call the old Quincy. And what the tie-in was the old Quincy. But you just suffice to say, all right, the man is watching an old Quincy, and Quincy's talking to this woman, and she is so lovely and beautiful, no one could believe it. She's captivating, and it's all you want to get into. It's nothing you want to know. Nothing else matters. Just this woman. But the reason the whole Quincy thing came up, I don't even know why. All I'm saying is my producers, with their scurvy, scuzzy, my producers, they don't even use the right toilet paper. You could get the Charmin or the ones with the bear, the blue bear. He's like, the blue bear says, like Smokey and the Bandit. Smokey, not Smokey and the Bandit, but Smokey from the Put Out the Wildfires, okay? He says, how do you put out a wildfire? Smokey says, you fucking piss on the fire, you stupid fuck. You asshole, you piss on it, you stir it up. You go get a stick, you're in the woods. Sooner or later, you're going to find a fucking loose stick. Get a loose stick and piss on it. Stir it up, piss on it, stir it up. Then to put your back of the hand on it. You put the back of your hand to the coals to see if they could catch the forest on fire. And so Smokey's like, what the fuck? I got to tell you this shit, you're in the fucking woods. Go get a stick, you're in the woods. Break a stick off a tree, get a stick off the ground. Find a fucking stick, you moron. And you fucking piss on the fire. You're drinking so much beer. You're drinking so much shitty-ass beer, I guarantee you could piss like a racehorse anytime. Somebody could come in from outer space and say, hey, we need some piss to get our spaceship going so we could break orbit and get away from Earth. You're like, fuck, I could piss on it. You could piss on it. Because you're drinking so many natty daddies. You're drinking so many Bud Ice. You're drinking so much light beer, other beer, bourbon. It doesn't matter, you stupid bastard. Just piss on the fire. Get a stick. Stir it up. Piss on it. Or pour your canteen out. It's okay. You got to try to get to 10 minutes. It's all precursor. We're at 4 minutes, so we're almost there. Excuse me. Excuse me, and I apologize. Blonde-haired girls. Beautiful blondes. You're like, oh, my God, you're so beautiful. You're so striking. Nobody knew you were even coming. So, oh, my God. But that was the nurse. She was a blonde-haired beauty. This nurse, I had to go in. It wasn't like the time I had to get my colon snaked. When I had to get my colon snaked, believe me, that was vicious. Because the woman, it just so happened that I almost had an affair on my wife. I didn't. And it's not my wife. I never got married, the man said. This is the quote the man specifically, just as if I'm a dog, I'm relating it, but the man said, and I'm quoting him directly, I never had a wife, but the Madame Yes was as close to a wife as I ever had. I love Madame Yes and the little girl dog. Sometimes, and I knew why the Madame Yes left me. I liked little girl dog more than I liked Madame Yes. I liked the little girl dog. I love the little girl dog more. I buy a sconce, a little tiny bit, a little widget, a little bit. I like the little girl dog a little better. But, man, he loved them blonde-haired beauties. And he, whatever. But he had to go in one time to get a colonoscopy or something. And that wasn't a blonde hair. This was a brunette. The man is like, he married the brunettes. The man loved the blondes, but he married the brunettes. The man loved the blondes, the blue-eyed blonde beauties with the stark, severe features. But what he married was the brunettes with the freckles and the whatever, because that's what he loved. He was sexually aroused by, those girls with that bleached blonde hair and the sparkle. He didn't even like the sparkle. They had dead eyes. Their eyes were dead. The ones he really liked had dead eyes and stark features like a Roman centurion. Like, holy shit, where'd you get that nose, buddy? Maybe Dave Chappelle and Kanye West should do a bit on your nose because it looks a little bit, whatever you would say, ethnic. It might be a Greek. It could be a Greek nose. So we're not trying to get over there to a Judaism nose. We're not going there. It's a Greek nose. But these blondes, these beautiful blondes. But whatever the girl who gave me my colonoscopy, she was a brunette, the kind of like to marry. It was so embarrassing. If it would have been a blonde, I was like, hey, honey, you going to stick that camera up my ass? Guess what? I'm already getting a boner over your beautiful face and the way your blonde, highlighted, beautiful bleached blonde hairs hang into your bangs, hang on all over your face. Guess what? I'm already in love with you. And this, 6.5-inch boner, this thick boner, it's as thick as a pop can, it's as thick as a Pepsi or a Coke can. This is testified. This boner here is testifying to how much I love you. But she wasn't that kind of a blonde. She was a brunette, like you would, you don't love the blondes. You want a house. You want to mess up the blondes with, whatever, sloppy sex. The brunettes you want to marry with the freckles and the oddball nose and one eye's not as high as the other and the bangs are offset. You're like, geez, your one ear's lower, your one ear's bigger than the other. God bless, your one butt cheek is a little slightly bigger than the other. That's the kind of girl you want to marry. The beautiful, crisp, gorgeous, unscrewed up, perfectly symmetrical blondes. Those are the ones that you want to have sex with. Or whatever, it doesn't matter. So the man said, I went in there to get a test. And my doctor told me in chapter 1 of the afour to yet unnamed new novelette. And that's the title of chapter 1. The afour to unnamed novelette is the name of the chapter. The man walked in there and he got the test. It was this blonde. She had these bangs that hung down low. She had dead. Her eyes were dead. They were beautiful blue, but they were cold and recessed and dead. So, this is the kind of girl you could, it's almost like when you're having sex with her, you're like masturbating. You don't even have to give her nothing. She's like a want to or a whiff torn or a wiffle ball girl. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't even know. Her orgasm is in her own brain anyway. You don't have to give her a good orgasm. The girls with the freckles, you have to give a good orgasm because these ones, they're underappreciated so you have to appreciate them. The blondes are overappreciated with all the bangs hanging in their beautiful dead-eyed faces with the crisp, stark features. These girls in chapter 1, these are the ones that nobody, it doesn't even matter. You just refer backwards. But this nurse, I'm gonna jump off the nurse thing. That's just a whole different story, the man said. And just to quote the man exactly correctly, the man was like, so, dog, this girl, it wasn't like them brunettes, them gorgeous brunettes when you walk in there and they're sticking a camera up your ass. You're like, oh, my God, I can't believe I would marry this girl. I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe this is the girl they hired to stick a camera up my wazoo. They hire a beautiful freckled brunette to stick a camera up my wazoo? Dog, come on, help me out. I was like, bud, there's no helping you. He's like, oh, my God, she stuck it up there. I passed out. I didn't even know what was going on. It didn't matter. But the thing I was trying to say was that, oh, Lord Almighty, God bless me. God bless me, everyone. God bless us. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It does. It does matter. The nurse was a brunette. I would have married her. She walks in, and I'm just a man. I'm a stupid idiot, like fool. But they drugged me up so much, I was like, oh, God, okay. I don't even care if you're sticking the camera and I fell asleep. But when I woke up, there she was standing next to this Iranian doctor. I was like, they hire Iranians? You got to have an Iranian doctor? I was just curious. Oh, it's over 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. So that was when I got the thing stuck up my wazoo. This time it was a beautiful blonde that I was there when they diagnosed my empty stomachs disease. I have empty stomachs disease, and that's the whole crux of chapter 1. This afford to unnamed chapter novelette. The chapter is kind of going to be named something. I'll name it, but this is chapter 1 of the afford to unnamed novelette. This beautiful blonde-haired nurse was assisting this. He wasn't Iranian. The Iranian was with the brunette. This guy was a Syrian. They diagnosed me, the doctor, he's a Syrian with a beautiful blonde. I was like, God, you must be fornicating with this dead-eyed, beautiful, banged, enclosure-faced, blonde, beautiful babe with a ass and breasts, and it doesn't matter, the waist, the shoulders. She had sexy everything. She had a sexy elbow. She had a sexy ankle. Don't even get me started on how sexy her ankle was, believe me. And whatever, it doesn't matter. The corner of her eye was sexy and beautiful. The corner, if you just zoned in on the corner of the eye, it was beautiful. They diagnosed me as having empty stomach syndrome or empty stomachs disease, where I always feel hungry. And even though I could lose weight, I might be losing weight. If I don't drink as a man, I'm going to lose weight. So the man, he said this. This is what the man said. Dog, they freaking tell me I've got empty stomach syndrome. I'm like, empty stomach syndrome? I get up every night. I got to piss 5 times and eat some saltines. I got to piss because my bladder's swelling up and I got to get, whatever. But also I have the empty stomach feeling. I got pangs. My stomach's rumbling. I go to church. I go to this, that, the other thing. I go over to Walmart. I go to, I try to buy some tires. I'm like, buddy, I want to get, my stomach starts growling. Every time I do anything, my stomach's growling. Dog, I can't take it. The man, he gets up in the middle of the night. He eats like 4 or 5 saltines because he's like, dog, if I don't eat like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 saltines, I can't even, I can't get back to bed. I can't get to sleep. I'm trying to do this, that, the other thing. I watch a little whatever. The man, sometimes he watches porno. Sometimes he tries to Google Donald Trump. He's like, I can't even get back to sleep. My stomach is rumbling. I got to eat a few saltines, a few peanuts. I'm trying to, fill my belly. He's losing weight if he doesn't drink beer. He's losing weight, but he always feels hungry. He's like, oh, my God, I can't. It's like my stomach's rumbling in church. My stomach's rumbling, whatever. At certain meetings I have at work. Dog, my stomach hurts. I'm like, when will my stomach quit getting pangs of hunger? And I was like, bud, I don't know. You've got something weird going on, but I think it's more between your ears. He's like, no, dog, my stomach rumbles. Do you hear my stomach? And I was like, yeah, I've heard your stomach. You got a loud, rumblesome stomach. There's no question about that. He's like, come on, why? I eat so much food. I eat sandwiches, I eat hoagies, I eat pazzarone, I eat pizzeria, I eat pierogies. There's nothing I don't eat. I would eat steer gonads. I would eat oysters. I would eat chestnuts. That's what I'm roasting a few chestnuts over an open fire. It doesn't matter. I would eat, radiated, contaminated carrots from the Ukraine over there where they had the big thing, where the Russians bombed the whole nuclear thing, and I would eat sardines from Japan where they had their, tidal wave, and they had the whole thing with the whole, pumping out toxic, nuclear waste in the ocean. I would eat those sardines and those fiddler crabs and those, what do you even call anemones, like the sea anemones. You could eat a few of them. It doesn't matter. And that's the main thing I want to say, that this is chapter 1 of the heretofore unnamed novelette.